Sarah Kimani coming to us live from Kigali in Rwanda. And staying with that story, African leaders have now raised concerns that their economies will be affected by the exit of the United Kingdom from the European Union. Experts indicate that the exit of Britain from the European Union will force the renegotiation of trade agreements with various countries in Africa that would amount to about 100 trade agreements. Ghana's President John Mahama told reporters that the continent is now waiting to see the effects of the exit on their economies. He spoke on the sidelines of the AU summit in Kigali, where he gave a report card on sustainable development goals. We have this report from Sarah Kimani.
Within the European Union, the UK is Africa's biggest trade partner. Its exit from the European Union has African leaders worried.
We had gotten used to working with them as part of a united Europe. And so now, even in terms of economic treaties, we have the EPA that we have to finalize. I mean, where does Britain stand in respect of the finalization of the EPA?
To attain the SDGs, countries emphasize the need for security and an end to radicalization of young people through creation of jobs.
I think that we all must address these issues very, very seriously. In Nigeria, for example, and in that region, we're taking serious steps against especially Boko Haram. And we think that in the last few months, we have almost completely reduced their capacity to engage as a military force.
Namibia's President Hage Geingob decried the laxity and slow pace of bringing to reality goals set out by various African institutions.
We have all the beautiful ideas in Africa, and experts will put them beautifully in glossy papers, doing it efficiently. But when it comes to implementation, they gather tasks. While we are efficient, we are not effective. In that regard, Namibia definitely, starting with the women, we have taken action that there must be a 50-50 representation at all levels.
The leaders also want the international community to meet their pledges to support developing countries in financing the Sustainable Development Goals, even as the continent strives to be self-reliant.
The Millennium Development Goals and the 17 Sustainable Goals will go a long way if we have dedicated resources for that. In Tanzania, for the first time, in our annual development plans, we have assigned 40% of our budget to the development budget.
Africa spoke with one voice during the adoption of the UN Sustainable Development Goals in New York at the General Assembly. It is hoped that the continent will move together during this crucial process, the implementation process. Sarah Kimani at the African Union Summit in Kigali, Rwanda.
In other